In the name of Allah, a story of the blessing. It is said that in a certain region, a year of severe drought occurred. In the grip of this famine, not only humans, but also animals and birds fell prey to its devastating effects. Livestock owners were in extreme distress. During this time, an imam from a mosque boldly declared during Friday sermons that if, by reciting the name of Allah, specifically Bismillah, a command could be given to the river, it would obediently comply. Among the listeners was a shepherd. This message resonated deeply with him, and his belief in it became unwavering. Returning home, he opened his flock and headed straight for the river. With a loud voice, he recited Bismillah al-Rahman al-Rahim and commanded the river, stating his intention to take his flock to the other side. With this declaration, he led his flock onto the river, crossing to the other side. The area on the opposite bank was lush with grass, and the trees were healthy. Since no one had access to this place, it remained untouched. He let his goats graze freely, and then he returned. From that day on, it became a routine for him to leave his goats on the other side and bring them back in the evening. The weight of his goats doubled and tripled. People were astonished and asked him what he fed his goats. He, a simple and honest young man, revealed that after reciting Bismillah al-Rahman al-Rahim, he walked on water and brought his goats to graze on the other side. Everyone heard this, but no one believed it, as it seemed impossible. However, the news eventually reached the imam. He called the shepherd and inquired about the entire incident. The shepherd explained that he was merely following the imam's advice. He confessed that he would recite Bismillah and command the river to let him take his goats to the other side. Everyone, however, remained skeptical, as it seemed beyond belief. The news reached the imam, who, surprised, called the shepherd and inquired about the incident. The shepherd explained that he was merely following the imam's advice. The imam acknowledged that during the Friday sermon, he indeed suggested that by reciting Bismillah, the river could be commanded, and it would obey. The shepherd, in turn, expressed his gratitude, saying that he followed the imam's guidance and recited Bismillah to cross the river. He believed that by doing so, he had been blessed. The imam was distressed by the shepherd's words, as he did not expect anyone to take his words literally. He pondered whether he should deny it to avoid any repercussions. Still, considering the enthusiastic crowd that had gathered and were singing praises for him, he hesitated. Ultimately, the imam decided to face his fear and sought a rope to tie himself to a tree first, then around his waist. With fear and hesitation, he uttered Bismillah al-Rahman al-Rahim and started walking on the water. However, as soon as he took the first step, he slipped and fell into the water. The onlookers pulled him out. The shepherd, witnessing the entire scene, realized that the imam's trust in the rope exceeded his faith in Allah's name. In the end, the imam decided to tie a rope around his waist to overcome his fear. He uttered Bismillah al-Rahman al-Rahim, but, to everyone's surprise, he couldn't walk on water and fell into the river. The shepherd, observing this, concluded that the imam's reliance on the rope surpassed his trust in the name of Allah. This incident became a talk of the town, and the shepherd's sincerity and faith in Allah's name were praised. The imam, humbled by the experience, decided to reflect on his actions and reconsider the true essence of faith and reliance on Allah. In this tale, the contrast between the shepherd's unwavering faith and the imam's reliance on worldly measures highlights the importance of true belief and trust in the divine, even in the face of seemingly impossible situations.